Welcome to Ambitious Tech Mamas, a podcast for moms who are making big moves at work and at home. Here we keep it real about careers, relationships, and the beautiful, messy balance of motherhood.
This is your space to be authentic, to feel seen, and to remind yourself that grace is just as important as ambition. You are not alone, so let's navigate this journey together.
Well, look at us. For folks that don't know, we had some technical difficulties, and this is take 72 on this round. So Emily is our guest, but it is our very first, we're excited about it, virtual podcast where we are being inclusive of everybody around the world. And we're excited to have our guest, Emily. So thank you for joining us, Emily.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, of course. I'm honored to be the first virtual guest.
Yeah,
Yes.
Look at that. We're going to get a little bit into it in terms of just questions and our normal glows and grows. But Emily, if you don't mind, our topic is around kind of just exploring the different seasons of motherhood. And you are a new mom. How new are you, if you don't mind us asking?
I am 2.5 months in. So I had my baby Jack on April 6th. So just a couple months ago.
So very fresh.
Yes.
Very fresh
Yes,
new mama.
very fresh.
So,
Yes.
how are you feeling?
Nyasia wants to jump right into it.
Just jumping right in. I'm good. It's definitely been an adjustment for me and my husband, for my family, for us. I think what I've been trying to do is just as much as possible give myself grace, hold space for just like the whole gamut of emotions. I think it was really helpful having friends who are moms and folks like yourselves who are friends and coworkers and mentors who help prepare me going into it. I don't think you can ever be fully prepared, but help prepare me going into it just to say like, okay, you're going to feel great things. You're going to feel not so great things. And all of that is normal and okay. There's nothing wrong with you if you feel all those things. And so, we're taking it day by day. We're definitely adjusting, but things are getting better. And I just feel at the same time, like sleep deprived and exhausted, but also very grateful that I get to, start this life and build this family with my husband. So feeling all the things, but like I said, just taking it day by day and, taking it as it comes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the authenticity of it because I always say marriage and parenthood are two things that no one can prepare you for. You can I babysat, I had siblings, but nothing prepares you for this journey. And I agree with you, hold space for it all, the good, the bad, the unfamiliar. When my daughter was first born, like literally just coming out, they cleaned her up and handed her to me. She was not what I was expecting. I was expecting that baby doll look. And that
you got a gushy, bloody looking thing coming out.
And I was like, the things look a little weird here, a little more wrinkled than I thought. And so, she does know this story too anyway, but so she doesn't think I'm calling her ugly. But
she is not.
Nope, she is a beautiful baby girl.
Yes.
Even though she's 10, she's still my baby girl. But yes, when they first come out, I was expecting something totally different. Hollywood makes you really confused until you actually go through the journey yourself and be like, oh, okay. But yes, I think it's normal, it's healthy to feel all the emotions and just give yourself the grace because you did it, and you in for a hell of a ride.
Yeah, but it's a fun ride. It's a good ride. It is just the beginning of this ride. Oh.
Yes, that was the other part you just said that. The one piece of advice that I did get that I think has been good for me, and I'm 10 years in, is my mom who said, enjoy each and every step of the journey. Yep. Like each step is going to bring you something new, something exciting. I remember when I was like, why does she sleep so much? I want to get up and play with her. And then it was like, okay, when is this child going to go to sleep? And so like each stage brings something. So enjoy each and every stage because it goes so fast. It goes so fast. So
I love that. All babies are beautiful too. Just as a reminder to everybody, all babies are beautiful. All right,
day 5.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we are going to jump into our normal glows and grows for the week. I know, Emily, you like to use the term glows and grows, and I love that we've been able to pick that up from you as well as some other places that we've heard it. So let's go ahead and roll right in. because I'm going to start with my glow.
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Let's go with it. So my glow is that my husband and I celebrated 7.5 years of marriage and 7 years of marriage and 19.5 years together. So our formal wedding anniversary was fun. And the piece I will say that was a glow is that life is busy, but we found time and space to pause and celebrate. And so we enjoyed the sun, we did the ice cream, all the things, but we celebrated. And we did it with, don't judge me, one of our kids, not both, because one of them was at daycare. And I was like, nah, she's fine there. She won't remember this. But we celebrated it with one of our kids going out on the water. So that was nice.
No, I love that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a long time.
That is a long time. Yeah. Like I said, 19.5 times or years together. Jeez, that was a long time.
I always say he's still alive. I'm not in jail. We're doing all right.
Yeah, if that's your thought. All right, Emily, what about you? What was your glow this week?
My glow this week is that my baby officially reached double digits. So he's about almost 10.5 pounds and he was born a little peanut. So this is definitely a win that we celebrated this week with a pediatrician.
That's awesome. Every milestone is a good milestone. So congrats on that. That's exciting.
Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Nyasia?
So full transparency, as we said in the beginning, this is our 72nd time doing this. I forgot what I said the first time.
That's okay. You know what? You go with whatever comes to mind in terms of your glow.
So
what's glowing you up right now?
I do remember. I booked my flights to the East Coast.
Yes,
I feel like it was 2 things, but we're just gonna go with that because I'm so excited. For those of you that may not know or don't remember, I am born and raised New York City, so I get to see my pigeon friends and the pollution and get seasoned food. I am more than excited to get to the East Coast, and I get to see my East Coast friends and family. And so, yeah, that's my glow.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, what the grows now?
Oh, I do remember the other glow.
What's your other glow? You can have 2. It's fine. I'll allow it.
It was my weight. I went to go check in. And the weight is going down, which is a good thing.
That's good.
So I have some padding for when I go to the East Coast and eat bad. I don't have so much to work off. So
there you go. I'm gonna check in with you. Don't worry after that.
Yes.
Oh man. All right, let's go to the grows. Yeah.
Grows, yes.
All right. You want to start with the grows and we'll go around?
Oh, okay. So grows. It's a lot going on. Life feels heavy right now and busy and just overwhelming. Just as a person first, then motherhood and spousehood, if that's the word, marriage. Work,
that's usually
life.
what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like a lot right now. But I had some health issues earlier this week, and it kind of put into perspective for me the importance of saying no and just really prioritizing myself. So the health situation was the growing moment to help me to remember to, love on myself. No is a complete sentence, and it's okay to put an exclamation point at the end of it. So that's my grow.
All right. What about you, Emily? What was your grow this month or this week?
This week, my grow is definitely that my husband and I need to give each other a little bit more grace during this time. It's so funny because we'll have a conversation and be like, "We're a team, we've got this," and then a minute later, my temper's short, his temper's short, and so I definitely need to just like the both of us, but I'll take my own responsibility. Just need to be a little bit more patient with myself and with him, and we'll get better week by week, but. Definitely a grow is just have a little bit more patience with each other.
Hey, and you are 2.5 months postpartum. And so patience, I don't think, is an expectation given you're in that 4th trimester. So just putting that out there to give yourself grace as well, because motherhood and parenthood's tough, especially that fresh and especially with your first. So give yourself grace. That's not that you asked for advice, but
thank you. No, but it's always appreciated. Thank you.
Good.
And it's okay to have the off days. Like every day every day we don't like our kids. So I mean, I think you like your child every day right now because they're young and But I think that it's okay that those days where it's like we just not vibing. We're gonna press reset. And check back in, take that moment away, and so.
Yeah, and it's okay.
It is.
This is
it's healthy.
It is healthy. This is not my grow, but I will say I was having ice cream with a friend that I haven't caught up with in a long time. and husband said he was nearby. I was like, oh, good, come get the child. And I was just like, because she was having her, what she calls in quotes, silly time. And I was like, no, just come get the kid. I love my child, but I needed him to come get the child. So it happens, and
so
it's
funny.
okay.
It does.
It's so funny.
I will say my grow for me is just there is so much going on, and it's good. And I know it's a season. Again, I know that's our theme in terms of just different seasons of this journey. But just so much going on. Summer camp has started this week, and they got weird times. Like they drop off at 9:05 and pick up at 3:07 and whatever it is. And that is
for $1,000.
Ooh, yeah, and then give me all your money. And yeah, those are weird times. Not even school times. And so I don't know how working parents survive, but we're in week 1, and we're going to see how that goes. Plus, we're traveling. And I need to pack, and work has so much going on. And so, yeah, no, just a lot, but I will get there. But the grow is, I'm at one of those points where I just can't completely breathe in terms of catch up for air. So I'll get there. But that's my grow. I will. Yeah. Don't worry. Summer camp will end. So trust, I will get there. She will go back to school. All right. Well, those were good glows and grows. Now, we talked about you, Emily, being at 2.5 months. Again, that 4th trimester. Tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, how'd that birth go?
Yeah, I will. And just in the spirit of the full transparency, I was just pumping.
Yeah.
So I'm back and ready to go.
I love it.
You can't delay that too long.
No.
My birth went well, so as well as it could. So my little munchkin Jack, we found out at my anatomy scan that I had an issue with my placenta.
Okay.
And they told me, the chance of it impacting his growth is really small, but we're going to have to monitor. And so they did extra growth scans, and they sent me to a high risk doctor. And we did just tests every week, like stress tests and things like that, to make sure that he was okay. And he ended up having IUGR, intrauterine growth restriction, fetal growth restriction. So what that means is that either his head or his abdominal circumference would be below a certain threshold. And for him, his abdominal circumference was below that threshold. So his abdominal circumference fell to like 3rd percentile. And usually with growth restricted babies, they try to strike a balance between like keeping them in as long as possible while also managing the risk. So we were really fortunate that we made it to 37 weeks. So that way, like his lungs were fully developed and everything. So we made it to 37 weeks, and I had an induction, and my body just did not want to let that baby out. So I went in at 6 a.m. on Friday, the 4th of April. He didn't come until 2:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. So it was about 50 to 60 hours process. I went in at 1 centimeter. After the first 12 hours, they give you a pill every couple hours. I was still only 1 centimeter dilated. Then they do something called Cervidil, which looks like a shoelace. And after 12 hours of that, I was only 1.5 centimeters dilated. Then they did the balloon catheter, which was horrible and very painful for me. Other people have a fine experience, but for me, it was very painful. And that was still only got me after 12 hours to like 4 or 5 centimeters.
Geez.
My body didn't agree with that. I was bleeding really heavily. And the pain was really bad. I got an epidural at that point, and that was still only a day and a half in. And then by the Sunday morning, they broke my water, still only like 5 or 6 centimeters a couple hours later.
Jeez.
And then suddenly it just took off. And then Sunday afternoon, like by the time I was fully dilated, he came out in like 20 minutes. They actually had to slow me down from pushing because the doctor needed to get there. So it was like this crazy lead up. And then it happened, and I had an epidural, but it was actually wearing off. So that the anesthesiologist had to keep coming in and manually giving me more meds. Like I was able to hold my own legs up in the air. It was very painful, but I was able to hold my own legs up in the air. So I was like, I promise it's not just my pain threshold. Like I can feel my legs. So it was that was really, they said if I needed a C-section, they were going to have to redo my epidural. So that was not fun, because that was not fun to get in. So it was just a crazy experience, because it was such a strong lead up. And then all of a sudden
he's here,
baby was there, and that was it. And then we were in the hospital for a couple days. We didn't end up needing to stay in the NICU, so we were really fortunate um, that we didn't need NICU time. But baby had, a couple ups and downs those couple days. We knew he had a problem with his
Mm.
heart. And so they found a couple more things wrong with his heart when we were at the hospital. And then his blood sugar crashed, so they had to
Mm.
do blood sugar tests every 2 hours for 12 hours. We had to go on like a really crazy feeding schedule with him. Um, and because he was so small, they had to do car seat tests. So before we left, so it was just a heck of a couple days.
Yeah.
But like I said, so fortunate he didn't need to go to the NICU. We were able to have him in the room with us. And I just remember thinking like that first night when the nurses left, my husband and I looked at each other and we were just like,
What do we do?
where where'd they go? Why did they leave us alone with this little baby? Um,
Oh.
so yeah, and then we went home and I don't think that either of us was prepared to care for like an on the cusp NICU baby.
Mm.
Um, you know, it, in retrospect, maybe a little bit more support would have been helpful, but we went home and then all the fun started. It's like we build up so much for the birth, and then the birth happened, and you're like, oh wait, now we bring this baby home. And
Yeah.
that was just like the very beginning. So yeah, that was my birth story, it was a heck of a 2.5 days.
Sounds like a wild ride. And what I will say is no birth story is ever the same. I have noticed that as well. But now you have a beautiful baby. Last pictures I
Yes.
saw, he is freaking adorable and growing so
He's a cutie.
quickly in terms of just the difference in the pictures that you sent over the span of a
Yeah.
month.
Oh
My
yeah.
gosh, he's huge, which is great.
He looks so different. He was born around
Yay.
5.5 pounds, and now he's 10.5 pounds. So he's
There you
Yeah.
almost double
go.
his birth weight, which is crazy in
That's
just 2.5
amazing.
months. So he's doing really well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what would you say, bless you,
Thank you.
surprised you most? I feel like you sort of hit on it.
Yeah, there's elements in there. I
Yeah,
heard that.
that you
Yeah.
alluded to, but what do you feel like surprised you the most about just all of
About
this? Whether it's
Motherhood,
motherhood, birthing.
all the things.
I think that it's like, people prepare you for the big stuff, like you're not going to sleep and,
Mm-hmm.
breastfeeding is hard and
Yeah.
things like that. But what I was not prepared for was how hard the little things would be. Like
Mm.
things I took for granted, like being able to reach for my water bottle and just drink it or go fill up my water when I need it, or like making sure I was eating enough, and needing to go to the bathroom, like just
Yeah.
all those little things that you just take for granted, being able to just like get up and take my dog out, not even go for a walk, just take him out becomes so hard when you're like, with
Yeah.
this little Velcro baby that just like needs you 24/7. Um, to the point where I was like sitting there feeding him and pumping at the same time and doing all that. And I'm like, I'm so thirsty and I wish I had another 4 hands. I could like go and fill up my water and like
Yeah.
grab a snack. And I've had to cut out soy, beef, dairy, and eggs from my diet because
Oh,
to help manage his reflux and stuff. And you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find snacks that are
mm,
easy to grab that
sure.
don't have, like, especially soy is in everything. So just like how hard the little things are
Yeah.
in addition to the big things. And I know that that will get better over time, but that's definitely been quite an adjustment for
Mm.
me. And that surprised me. But like I'm sure that there's different levels of hard. I'll get more of that autonomy back, but then there will be other things that are challenging. So it's just funny to me, like going to the bathroom is like an ordeal. I had to be like, can somebody help me? Or I gotta,
Yeah.
do some sort of like weird maneuver to hold his head, but then also go to use the restroom. So that surprised me. I think also how hard the sleep deprivation would be. Like,
Hmm.
so baby Jack is struggling with some pretty bad silent reflux, and um it we're lucky if we get like an hour or two of him sleeping on his back at night.
Mm.
So we just take turns holding him upright throughout the night. And like I knew I'd be tired, but
Yeah.
you don't realize how much that affects you after multiple months of it. Um, so yeah, those were my big surprises. But I feel like actually the women in my life prepared me for the big things. Like they prepared me for like breastfeeding is hard and this is
Yeah.
hard and that. Um, for sure. So
It is a season. I promise you. And it is hard when you're in the thick of it. I think I might have shared on one of our episodes that not with the first, but with the second, I had postpartum insomnia and I did not sleep. And my body would not let me sleep, which sucked because even if my baby slept, my hormones, like I had some sort of imbalance, I couldn't for the life of me sleep. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God. And I remember asking the OB, when does it stop? When do I sleep again? And I remember her just smiling and going, I promise it will return. And it did. I mean, we just celebrated the first year of my baby's life and it did. Oh. And so I still have probably a little bit of PTSD from just those periods, but it gets better every day. So I promise that it will get better. It is a season.
Yes, that's what I'm reminding myself. And I'm very fortunate that I have, like, people say like, oh, it takes a village, but it really does. Yeah. Like, I'm very fortunate that I have my parents here. And, like I said, we stay up throughout the night. Co-sleeping is an option, but we're not entirely comfortable with that right now. So we just take turns staying awake throughout the night and holding them upright. And I'm really very lucky that my parents have helped us out. And even like with the diet restrictions, being able to, have my mom cook and she has the time to make sure she can make things without all those ingredients. So definitely like just very, very grateful. Is there anything that you guys miss about this season of motherhood or anything that like hearing me talk or looking back on it that makes you think about it?
I think, it's funny, the question I asked you what surprised me. I think for me, it's how difficult it is to get pregnant. You think, oh, you have sex or you see all these people with kids. It's like, oh, this is easy, right? Like you're taught like, oh no, be careful because, sex means baby. And it's like, it is hard to get these little people here, right? But I think I appreciate what you said about the community because same thing, right? I had community, right? My mom moved in with us and my daughter, she still has it. I forgot what the medical term of it, but it was something wrong with her heart. And she has like an extra heartbeat in her rhythm pattern. Oh, wow. And so like even now she has to like, she's an athlete and like she competes, right? But we have to make sure she takes a certain medicine before she competes just because of this extra heartbeat thing. But I miss the small age to some degree, like I miss the 2-year-old, like I have a video of her wearing my heels. I mean, she walks in heels amazing at 10 years old, but
at 2?
She's asking for water with my red pumps on in the kitchen. And so I miss those cute little things. But again, I'm enjoying this phase where it's like, Mommy, and this girl said this, and I was like, what? Like we're having these little moments. Or 2 days ago, I was just like, let's go get our nails done, right? We just need to, and so I'm enjoying each stage. But, sometimes I do miss the little stages of her, still being excited to see and believe that Mickey Mouse is really Mickey Mouse, and things like that.
She's not home yet, but
yeah,
my child at least, yeah.
I mean, I already told you, we don't do the tooth fairy thing in Santa Claus. Mommy and Daddy is. I mean, I think she realized it when I gave her a check.
Yeah, no, I was a little disappointed in you in that when you said that. I was like,
I didn't have any cash,
normal,
so
right?
She got a check with the tooth fairy. She was like, "Why does the tooth fairy have your checks?"
I know. I was like, "Oh, something's not right there."
So, but yeah, what about you?
And what surprised me, or no, yeah,
I guess
and what do I
miss? Both because you're doing it again. So
I got it all going on. What I will say, what surprised me, I will say, because I've got 2 kids. What surprised me is how different my journey was with both of them in all aspects. Like you talk about having a baby, my first kid. First, we tried once, conceived. Second one took us over a year. I had no issues postpartum with my first one. Second one, my body was a hot mess. Like I said, insomnia, postpartum anxiety, all the things happened. Just like, my body, it was so different with both kids and only a matter of 5 years difference, which yes, my body was older, but it was not that much older. Yeah. So just the difference, I think, surprised me. But what I miss What I miss is seeing them become humans. It's funny you called a Velcro baby. And I remember my husband used to compare our first one to just like I know this sounds bad, like a sack of potatoes, you just got to make sure it's with you. Like you just have to make, because like when they're so small, your only job in life is to keep them alive.
That's literally.
And you just have to make sure they're with you, to your point. You hold them with one arm while you pee, all the things. But then they start to become a human. Again, my second one, it's very fresh in my mind. But the first time that you see her genuinely smile, or now what we're doing with her is that she genuinely knows how to say hi and bye.
Oh,
so I go, hi.
Yes, she does.
Bye.
Yes.
And so
cute.
seeing those firsts, and there's so many that you have in just the span of a year. Or like, Emily, you'll have firsts come up where you see that first smile, or you see the first like grabbing of your hand back and just stuff like that. I miss the firsts, but there's other firsts, like with my 6-year-old. Ooh, a lot of firsts in terms of that. But it's different kind of firsts. But I love that piece.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Emily, if you don't mind us putting you on the spot, what's one thing you wish you knew? You said you got a lot of advice from people, but what's one thing you wish you knew before you were a mom?
I think that, like, I know, Barbieto, you mentioned a little bit about like postpartum insomnia and anxiety. I've always struggled with anxiety, depression. Like I had been on medication in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had heard from other moms that their experiences with it. And I just wish I knew like more tangibly what things to look out for. Because I think that I think, of course, like most women get the baby blues the first couple days and like roller coaster of emotions. I'd be like sobbing, and then I just feel so happy about like how helpful my husband is, or like, you just got these crazy swings, and then that settles. And actually, my pediatrician this week was like, Emily, I think that you need to manage your anxiety. Like you need to, like my pediatrician noticed, she's like, are you talking to your OB, and are you like working through this, because you are very on edge, at these appointments. And granted, like things were really hard in the beginning with his weight and his heart and like things like that. And I think, and him not eating, like I think things started in such like a high pressure. We'd go to these appointments and it would just be like, he's not gaining enough. He's not doing this enough. We're nervous about this. He's got jaundice. He's got the heart, like it was just always something.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And it's a lot.
Yeah.
And, like he was underweight when he started, or he was so small when he started. And then like the first month was a struggle to get him to breastfeed or take a bottle. Like, so I was triple feeding. Like it was just, things just felt so intense, started out so intense with his health, that it's really hard for me, to not feel that. And then we ended up in the hospital with him for 4 days about a month ago. And like, I had felt like something was wrong, and it ended up being wrong. We were in the hospital for 4 days. Like, it's really hard to just like, to manage it's really hard to tease apart kind of like the postpartum anxiety versus mother's intuition, and knowing like when to listen to your gut versus when you need to kind of like talk yourself down. And so I wish I had just better understood some of the signs of like being able to tease all that apart, knowing exactly when to ask for help. Like, no, the way I was feeling was not normal those first couple weeks. And it wasn't just like the hormonal adjustment. Like it's not healthy to be like up, a lot of new moms Google, but I was like obsessively, I'd be like a ChatGPT all night. Like it just like crazy, probably horrible that we have something like ChatGPT now. So
probably for that purpose.
Anyway,
yes.
Yes. So I need like a, how there's screen time password lock for Instagram and Facebook. Like I need that for my internet. So it's like the obsessiveness. I just wish that I had gone in better knowing the signs. I thought, like I've had anxiety, depression before. I know what it feels like, but it's so different when it's
hormonal based. Also,
hormonal.
It's different. Yeah.
It's different. And when you're like also caring for this little person. So I'm very like, a lot of folks shared their experiences with me, and then that I'm hoping that I can kind of pay it forward once I'm out of this stage, and some of my friends, start families and go through it. I'm hoping that I can just like, I'm a pretty open book. Like I'm happy to share stuff. So I'm hoping I can do that for them, and, it makes a difference just hearing people like talk
Yes.
about it and normalize it and all the things.
I think
Yeah.
you make a great point in terms of, like it's all trying to find that mother's intuition and that mix of anxiety. I feel like I was the same way. I'm like that anyway, right? Like I'm like, oh my gosh, she had a white thing on her cheek, right? Like I'm looking at what is this? Like, oh no, it's just dried up milk. you didn't clean her cheek, right?
And Nyasia has one of those frequent flyer passes for going to the hospital. Yes. So I will say I've seen that.
Yes, let me tell you, I get VIP access.
She's got a punch
yes,
card.
because it's like, but I'm the same way. Like I don't. It's like you. I guess too for me, someone having health issues and knowing how precious life is, and it's like this little person who I have all this responsibility for. And like my husband and I was the same way. I'm like, that's it? Y'all just gonna give us this baby? They're like, yeah, you had sex, had a baby. Like, here we go. See ya, get out. Somebody else need the room. And it's just like, I'm not ready though, and so I think it's, give yourself the grace. But one thing I will tell you is that your intuition won't lie to you. Your intuition will not lie to you. There are some times when I'm telling the doctors, like, no, that's not my child, or no, I don't, but you have to go through these tests, right? To make your testimony that much greater, to be able to be a blessing to somebody else. And so it's hard. I know it is. And I know you and your husband is doing your best just stand upright, And so, but know that one, you're not alone. And I think what helped us as well is community, having those people that I can go to say, whew, today is a day, and you have that in us too, and there's so many others. And so there are some days that it'll work. And in other days it's like, listen, is he breathing? Great. That's it.
Check that box.
That's the limit of success for that day.
Yeah.
But
oh gosh.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, and it's part of it too is just cutting out a lot of the noise. Like,
yes,
we just have too much information right now, and I was so obsessed with like the wake windows and the sleep times and the nap times and the length of feedings and this and that. And we did have to extra monitor his feedings because he has to catch up on weight. He's not on the growth charts yet, and we're working on it. But like it is, and then also there's always a comparison game. Like you see these stories on social media of like, my 8-week-old baby sleeps through the night. I'm like, I get 1 hour.
Yeah, that is so important not to do.
And it is so hard, and you just have so much information. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you just kind of put your blinders on and just focus on your baby, focus on you, and just, I'm trying, and this is a work in progress, is I'm trying to just like listen to myself more, listen to my baby more, and not always be like, oh, well, his wake windows right now should be 67 minutes. And so let me like keep him awake this extra 4, because even though he's tired, just trying to like be more in the flow with him and not like forcing so much that you think you should be doing.
Yeah. I do also want to go back because you did mention the anxiety piece, and I love that you are conscious that this may not be the norm, because that's hard sometimes. So I just want to poke on that, because I felt in that area too, in the sense of, why do I feel crazy? And I know it's not the right word, but like I just felt not myself. And what I did not know is that you can develop any of these postpartum things within the first year of life of your child. Meaning I actually met a mom. She was a fellow mom at my kid's school. She developed postpartum, not to scare folks, but she developed postpartum anxiety. She was about 8 months postpartum. Wow. And that's when she was diagnosed. So I just want to share that because it's so important to your point. And that's one of the big purposes of, I think, our podcast as well, is people need to talk about it. We need to normalize it. It has to be okay for us to talk about what these things are that a woman's body goes through, because it's a ridiculous amount. And so I appreciate you bringing that up, because I don't think enough people talk about it. And it's important for folks to share.
Yeah.
Well, and make sure that you're talking to your provider about it.
Yes.
So like I have hypothyroidism, so like my thyroid's underactive. And I've been medicated for it for a couple years. And when I was pregnant, my meds almost quadrupled. And so like my meds were a lot stronger. And so after I gave birth, I had talked to my my doctor and I'm like, listen, I want to get rechecked because, you know, my levels skyrocketed during
Yeah.
pregnancy to the set, my meds skyrocketed during pregnancy. So you'd
Yep.
think like postpartum, my levels would get more like my baseline. And it turned out, like, thank goodness I was pushing and pushing and pushing because when you're over medicated for hypothyroidism, you actually start to get symptoms of hyperthyroidism, which include like trouble sleeping and anxiety and restlessness and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
sweats and
jeez.
all of that. And so I was for a couple weeks, I'm like, I just feel so unwell. Like I felt like my heart would beat so fast and I wouldn't be sleeping and I would be like so overly anxious. And it turns out that my meds were too high for,
Wow.
my levels had more normalized, my meds were too high and we were able to adjust it. So all that's to say, like, make sure it's weird.
Yes.
And at the doctor, they give you like this depression assessment too. So
Yeah.
it starts the conversation, but to just make sure you're talking to your doctor about it because
Yes.
there's so many things that they could look for and try and help with. And like medication can be really helpful during,
Yes.
anti-anxiety depression meds can be super helpful during this time. And often like they don't even go through your breast milk or they only go a little bit. They don't
Yeah.
impact baby. Like there's so many options. And unless you talk to a provider about it, you're just going to be stuck in a cycle. So
Yeah.
just make sure to be like, asking for that type of medical support can be helpful too.
Yeah. Advocating. You have to advocate for yourself, especially as a new mom.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Is there anything you guys like, obviously you've already done it twice, Nyasia, you're 10 years in. Is there any advice that you have for people like me or other people who are first time moms and still trying to figure the whole thing out?
Start.
I would say the biggest one, I've said it on this podcast before, is give yourself grace. Honestly, I think that is the biggest one that I could ever say. Some days we say it at work, but I say it in life as well. Some days are surviving days. Some days are thriving days. And it's okay when it's a surviving day, or if you've got a lot of surviving days in a row, it's okay. And it's life and life happens, but you have to give yourself grace. When the things maybe aren't perfect, but when they are good, try and hold on to those as much as you can. I know it's funny because I think about first time mom and then having with my second. And I think I've cherished, which sounds funny, the first moments that I talked about more with my second than I did with my first. And the reason, because the first, everything's new. I feel like I was hit in the face with motherhood. But I wish when I reflect back, I wish that I did that more with my first, if that makes sense. Because I really knew I needed to do that with the second. But the first year's running at lightning speed sometimes. And so it's harder to pause. And so having that reminder to pause and cherish those moments for first time moms, I wish I would have done that more. What about you, Nyasia?
All of that. So I'm not going to
Plus
restate
one?
it.
Plus one? All
Plus
right.
100. I'm going to also say is find your community.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm big on community because it has served me well, both in just me as a woman, a Black woman in America, marriage, and then as a mother.
Yeah.
Having people around you to reinforce that it's not just you is so helpful. And then, I remember when I had a miscarriage before having my daughter, and when I started to share, like, Mom, we had a miscarriage, I feel like every woman I met was like, I did too. Or I had 10. I met one who had about 20 miscarriages. And finally she had a daughter. And I just was like, goodness, sex is not even fun at that point. We just doing it just so that we can try, But it's like having that community to be able to just vent, like, this is a lot, or this is good. I think find your community and have that safe space to be able to allow yourself to just be, as raw and real as you can. Because it's too much work, as I always say, which is why authenticity is one of the values that I hold so dearly, is because it's too much work to put a facade on, to be something you're not. That's just too much work, right? Yeah. And you want me to keep this child alive, fed, and happy? No, that's too much. So, but find your community and know that you're doing the best that you can. This is all new to you, and I promise you, we're going to check back in on you this time next year, and you're gonna be like, what?
It's gonna be different.
Yes.
You're gonna watch and listen to this.
Exactly.
And you're gonna be like, wow, look at me then.
But yes, but know that too, like, you know, you have people rooting you on and cheering you on.
We are your community.
Yes.
Thank you.
So.
And accept the help.
Yes. Oh,
can I build on that? Because I was going to say, accept the help. Even with my second, I remember I had friends that were like, can I just come help you fold laundry? And even with my second, I still was like, no. Why? I needed the help. I would have loved, if that same person wants to come help me now, I will accept it. But like, I still, with my second, for whatever reason, would not accept the help. And I would say, geez, especially with your first, accept the damn help. Even if it's just laundry folding. And and that mom is a mom of two, and she lives down the street. I should have just said, yeah, come fold my underwear awkwardly. It's fine.
I mean, too, we could get in the grandparent situation is probably part 2 of this. Because that's a whole nother journey. I was telling you now, grandparents do not listen. We're going to
do an episode on that. Remember, I got the Asian mom that I'm happy to talk about. So we're going to get there.
But let them love on those babies.
Yes.
Like, let them love on the babies.
And help, yes.
And like, even now, I'll be like, so what you doing tomorrow? My mother be like, what do you need? I'm like, okay, please take her. Like, like, I just want to go sleep, you know, even at this age. So let the grandparents, because they are on cloud 1 million. Like, can't, these babies can't do nothing wrong. I'm listening to you. We like, my in-laws were like, no more candy, right? Why this girl has a bag of caramel, I have no idea. We was like, she, you know, but grandparents, listen.
Yeah. No, my child comes in with these Nutella sticks.
Yes.
Like, I do not know why you need 8 of these, but we are going to go with it because Grandpa gave it to you. Okay.
Well, you know what? My dad actually just said today, he's like, it's crazy because we're staying with my parents right now for a couple weeks since we got home from the hospital. And my dad's like, you know, it's so crazy. Obviously he loves me and my brother, but he's like, I am just able to enjoy the grandkids so much more. He's like, I don't have the pressure of my whole life ahead of me, of financial pressure, anything. Like,
thanks, Dad.
Jeez, right. Yeah. Thanks, Dad. He is like, this is just so fun for me. And he's in the trenches with us, like doing late night shifts and doing all this. And he is like enjoying every second. So, also, obviously I'm still very new at this. I'm only 2.5 months in, but if I could even give advice to my, you know,
younger
self, like that first month, my 1.5 months ago, of like that first month is I was, you know, people say like, have your bubble, don't, you know, don't have visitors if you're not comfortable with visitors. And I took that almost to the extreme where I was just like not comfortable, I think, having people come and see the mess and see like, and I was just overwhelmed by the thought of like having people come over and talking to people. And once I started doing that, I noticed I felt so much better after I did have people I love come over. So it's like, of course, don't feel obligated to have people come and visit, but also it's an important time to accept even just the company for an hour, have a friend come over and just feel like a person. I wish I had just like been a little bit you know, more open to that early on. So I'm getting better with it and getting out and about and things like that. And it'll take time. But that I think makes a big difference, just having like the adult, you know, feeling like you're part of the world, you know.
See, I'm proud of you. You already catching on.
Yeah, you're growing.
You're
growing.
Getting there.
I like it.
Ask me again in a couple months.
It'll be great.
We will.
We'll check in.
So, you had anything else to add to
I was going to do this or that.
Oh, you can do it. I was going to do it. You got it.
Ooh, the dynamic and love that grows with us. Anyway,
I love it. The two of you doing a podcast together.
We are alike in many ways, and we are opposite in other ways. But it makes life fun when we're together.
Yes, never a dull moment.
All right, I'm just going to take it, or else we're going to sit here for 30 minutes doing this. All right. So our part about this or that mom's edition. So given where you are with the stage of motherhood, Emily, it's tailored a little bit towards kind of your life at the moment, which is, but we'll all three do it. Have dirty diapers automatically be taken out to the trash can, or all bottles wash themselves? You can only pick one.
Oh, man. Well, I did splurge and get the baby Brezza bottle. It's a washer, dryer, and sterilizer.
Wow.
So I already have that taken care of. So I will do the the diapers because it's like there's something about like I change him on the floor and then I got to do some acrobatic stuff to like stand up with him and then go to the bathroom and he's crying for
Oh,
food and everything.
man.
So if they could just make their way to the and my dog is like all over it. I'm like we
Oh,
just
Yeah, that's a lot.
chaotic. So yeah, I would take that one.
Diapers. Okay.
There's no machine for that yet.
No. I'm going to add mine and then you go because I'm still in the diaper stage with the
oh,
second one.
right.
That's right.
Just wait until they move. Like that's the part. So that is the one that I'd like to take away from my life if I can. Is just automatically have those things go away in terms of dirty diapers. Literally, when the child can almost walk or crawl, she's like rolling and does not. And like especially if it's a poopy diaper, like I'm like, oh, I can't. Like please don't step in it, and it can get messy. And especially if she's got hands and grabbing. Ooh, it is a hot mess, and you can't potty train at one. Apparently, that's not a thing.
No, yes, you can.
I should try. I've
Yes.
not tried, but anyways, I'm still in diapers for my second baby. It is a hot mess when they can move around. So I'd love to
So
get rid of that.
funny.
What about you, Nyasia?
I don't even know. Maybe it's because
It's been a while.
so long.
It's been a hot second.
We did have this little contraption with the diapers because the smell.
Yes.
Like when you put it in.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called. You don't smell it. Like you have to push it all the way down. I'm gonna change the question.
You do you.
Yes.
You do you.
If they
Nya's
can
always breaking the rules.
Always break. She color. I think I color in the gray sometime. Ooh, she's like all the way in like rainbow colors. Anyways.
I'm gonna say because I don't mind either the dirty diapers or the bottles, right? But
because your child's 10. But
that
yeah,
is
keep
true.
going.
That is true. And if we have a second, she's gonna do both. So maybe it's them change themselves. To your point,
Yeah, that'd be
because
nice.
I too got caught in the. It was just a diaper change. Now we have to do a whole bath because she's
Everywhere.
everywhere. So
It's so
Sorry,
funny.
Emily, not to scare you because that will come.
it will
No,
come.
no, that's what's coming.
Listen,
Right now, he sometimes screams, but he smiled at me when I changed the diaper, and he just kind of like wiggles
Oh.
around.
Oh, that's
Wait
cute.
till they're all the
Yep,
way.
That's cute. But my first blow up diaper, because we moved out here when she was 3 months old.
Yeah.
So my first blow up diaper was on the plane
Oof.
to Seattle.
Oh no,
That's stressful.
And you
no.
already know how small plane bathrooms are.
Yeah, you probably got some looks.
Man, I didn't care. But
I know, but I'm just
I
telling
was
you,
like,
guys.
do I open the door, holler for my mother to come help me? Because we were like all the way in seat 6. And, I'm in a bathroom that's it's by the seat 39. And I'm like, oh, but same thing. She's laughing and smiling. And I'm like, girl. So.
I have 2 really funny poop stories, and then I know we have to wrap up. The first is that my son would have like these projectile poops where I'd take the diaper off and it would go like
to the
the
wall.
walls, the dresser, all over his shelves, everything.
Really?
That was a thing for like a week. There were 3 or 4 of them. I remember the first time that happened. They mostly were with me. I remember it happened to my husband, and you just hear him like cursing from the bedroom.
Yeah.
It was so funny. The second was he had his first car seat blowout. It was Mother's Day. My husband took him to the grocery store to get me some stuff to make for brunch or whatever. And I guess baby had a blowout in the car seat. And my husband's like, I'm in bed. My husband's like trying to clean up the baby, trying to do everything. And he turns around and he's like, where's the dog? And our dog licked the car seat clean.
Oh,
It's disgusting. So now my husband's like cleaning this baby
Clean.
clean.
It's clean now.
wow. Are you
Ooh,
serious?
do not let that dog
Circus.
lick your face for a real long time. I'm just saying.
No, oh my gosh! Trust me. I never brushed his teeth. Brushed his teeth. We scrubbed it, gave him a bath. Went to the groomer the next day.
I was about to say, don't you take to the
The whole
doctor?
thing. Oh my gosh! It's like things I never thought I would talk about. Is just like my baby's poop explosions all the
Yeah,
time.
and then the
Even
dog
now,
can,
like
yeah.
we had his diapers were too small. We were in newborn for too long, and like every morning he'd have an explosion, and it would be all over me. And I'm like, why am I the only person who's ever been pooped on?
Size
Like,
up.
Not my parents.
My friend, she's like any
Oh my
blowout,
God.
size up. That was her advice to
Size
me.
up.
She
Yep.
said, size
Yep.
up. Second you have a blow up, just size up.
Anytime
We're
I
there,
buy
we're
people
in size
diapers, I never get the size that they are. I always get 2 sizes above. Because when they're going to go through them, they're going to grow out of them so fast.
Yeah.
And them things are not...
Yeah.
No, you gotta size up.
Yep. So
So funny.
that is funny though.
Oh, geez. Yes.
What a way to end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will say before we close out and say thank you, we usually also plug an organization that is mother owned, but I wanted to take a second to plug an organization that is near and dear to my heart. I believe it's in multiple states. It's definitely in Washington State, and it's called Parent Trust. And it's one of those organizations that I found early on, and their whole purpose in life is to help parents. I remember even and I did it with both kids. I even asked my husband, I said, what do they get out of this? Like, why is this free? Because literally it doesn't matter what it is. They will help you if it's breastfeeding. They will help you. I still do it with my baby, my 1-year-old, where we do checkups now and they do developmental screening to see, hey, you should work on work on this with her, or you shouldn't. She asks me about me anytime we talk. We do that like every few months to talk about warning signs, to your point, Emily. So it doesn't just have to be your medical providers. There are a ton of different organizations that are there, and their whole purpose is to help parents and to help new parents. And so I just wanted to plug that. I thought that might be fitting. I know they are in Washington State, so we'll look and maybe do a link and show if they're in other states as well.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we all need that.
Well, thank you, Emily. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for sharing your story, being vulnerable. As Nyasia said, we are rooting you on.
Yes, and we miss you. We definitely miss you.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I miss you guys too, and I'm feeling the love. I appreciate both of you checking in
that's good.
All the good stuff. So thank you for having me on here.
Of course.
All right, you want to roll us out?
Yes. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, there is no perfect way to do motherhood, just your way.
Keep showing up, laughing through that chaos, and giving yourself the grace you deserve. You got this, Mama.
See you later.